Hello students, welcome to Mental Ability series, class 10th. Today in this series we are starting with a new chapter named Puzzle Test. In this chapter we are going to deal with certain questions, 18 in number, in which certain instructions are given before every question. You have to answer them holistically by reading all the set of instructions given before, right? So in this chapter you are going to have multiple sentences which are not in a sequential order. So as soon as you read the instructions, start marking it, and as soon as you complete your marking, start arranging them in a order and start answering the questions, right? So we are directly starting with our first question in this chapter, and with the question I'll explain you the concept behind it, right? So our first question says that, right? So the directions for the first 5 questions are given here. So I'll read the directions for you. The direction says that read the following information carefully and answer the question given below it, right? So here we are having multiple points, that is total 7 in number, right? So the first point says that 5 professor, as I said, start marking as soon as you'll find some values. So how many professors are there? 5 professors are there. Their name are Dr. Joshi, Dr. Davar, Dr. Natarajan, Dr. Chaudhary, and Dr. Zia. These 5 professors are here who teaches 5 different subjects. The subjects are zoology, physics, botany, geology, and history. These 5 subjects are there in 4 different universities, that are Delhi, Gujarat, Mumbai, and Osmania. Correct this spelling here. Yeah, Osmania. Okay. Do not assume and any specific order. Do not assume any specific order, right? It means, it doesn't mean that if Dr. Joshi is written at the first, he'll gonna teach zoology. So they are not in a order as per now. You have to find the correct order, right? So this is the first statement. Now second statement is Dr. Chaudhary teaches zoology in Mumbai University. Now this is the first clear cut statement that we have, that Dr. Chaudhary who teaches zoology, and where? In Mumbai, right? This is the first statement which is clearly specific regarding Dr. Chaudhary and his subject and his university, right? So Dr. Chaudhary teaches zoology in Mumbai. Now we'll move to the next statement that we have, that is Dr. Natarajan. Now third statement is related to Dr. Natarajan is neither in Osmania University nor in Delhi University. Now mark this, Dr. Natarajan is neither a professor of Osmania University or Delhi University. So it means he'll be teaching in rest 2 universities, either of the rest 2 universities, right? He teaches neither zoology nor history. Now he is not the teacher of zoology nor the history. So he may be teaching some other subject for sure, right? So this statement is related to what Dr. Natarajan is not part of, right? Now the fourth statement, Dr. Zia. So the fourth statement is related to Dr. Zia. Dr. Zia teaches physics. So it is a clear cut statement. But neither in Mumbai University nor in Osmania University. So from here we'll get one information, that Dr. Zia teaches physics. And from the previous, what we get, that Dr. Chaudhary teaches zoology. So till now we are sure with 2 teachers or 2 professors that what are their subjects, right? Now we'll move to the fifth statement, and our fifth statement says that Dr. Joshi teaches history in Delhi University. Students, this is again a clear cut statement. Read it again. Dr. Joshi who teaches history, right? So what he teaches? He teaches history, and where? In Delhi University. I hope this question is clear. I hope this statement is clear till here, right? Till now we have read 5 points, and we are already talking about 4-5 different teachers. We are already sure with the subject of 3 different teachers now, and the university of 2 different professors, right? Now the question number 6, or the statement number 6, right? What it says? Two professors are from Gujarat University. Now it is again a vague statement, but it clear cut indicate that two professors out of all are from Gujarat University. Right? As soon as you read all the instruction, I'll tell you how you are supposed to proceed with the answer. Right? So the last statement says that one professor teaches only one subject. From here we know that two professors are from same university, but they can't teach same subject, right? So here one professor teaches only one subject, right? And in one university only, right? Now we need to check whether this is right or this is right? For that, what we'll do, first we'll read the question. What is the requirement? So what is the requirement in first question? Who teaches zoology? Right? From the statements, we know that Dr. Joshi teaches history, that is sure. And from the second statement, Dr. Chaudhary teaches zoology, right? But we are not sure about zoology. That we will figure out with the help of all the statements, right? The second question says that which university is Dr. Zia is from? We are not sure about his university. We are sure about her subject, right? So that also we'll figure out as soon as we'll start collaborating all the statements that we have. Now, who teaches botany? This is our third question. Now, still we are not sure who teaches botany. So read the question so that you will get the direction where you are supposed to proceed with the instruction, right? Now, the fourth is who is from Osmania University? We need to figure out that as well, right? Out of 4 professors given in the option. And the fifth question says that which of the following combination is correct? Now we need to figure out that the university name is aligned with the professor name or not. So we need to check which of the following options out of 4 which is correct, right? You need to figure out that. So as we have already read all the instructions, now you need to arrange them in an order and make a proper sequence of professor, their subject and the university they belong, right? For that, what we will do, we'll move to the solution part now. For first 5 questions, we have already read all the questions now. So we'll start moving for that now. From the given information in the question, from statement number 2, we get that Dr. Chaudhary teaches zoology in Mumbai University, right? From third, we get Dr. Natarajan is neither in Osmania nor in Delhi University, right? This is second. Therefore, he will be either from the Mumbai University or from the Gujarat University. I hope this is clear. Similarly, as he teaches neither zoology nor history, therefore he must be teaching physics or botany, either one of them, right? Now, from the fourth statement, what we are able to figure out that Dr. Jia teaches physics, but he is not teaching neither in Mumbai University or in Osmania University. It must be, he must be teaching either in Delhi University or in Gujarat University. I hope this is clear. As we are aware that Dr. Jia teaches physics, this is sure, but we are not sure with the university. In the question, in the statement, it is given that she or he is not teaching in Mumbai or in Osmania University. So we can figure out that either he is teaching in Delhi University or in Gujarat University, right? So from the statement number 5, what we get? Dr. Joshi. Dr. Joshi teaches history in Delhi University, right? It is a clear-cut statement. So from 1 and 2, from both the statement, we can conclude that Dr. Natarajan teaches botany. Now we are getting close to our answers as soon as we are able to clarify all the statements, right? And from 1 and 2 and statement number 6, statement number 1, 2 and statement number 6, we get both Natarajan and Jia is in Gujarat University. We are heard about that two professors are from Gujarat University. So we can figure out that both the Natarajan and Jia teaches in Gujarat University. Now, finally, on summarizing what we can prepare a table. So, first column is for the name, second is for the university, third is for the subject. In the first column, we have all five professors, that is Dr. Joshi, Dr. Davar, Dr. Natarajan, Dr. Chaudhary, and Dr. Jia. So, from all the instructions given, from all the conclusion part, what we are able to figure out that Dr. Joshi teaches in Delhi subject of history. Dr. Davar from Osmania University teaches geology. Dr. Natarajan from Gujarat University teaches botany. Dr. Chaudhary from Mumbai University teaches zoology. And Dr. Zia from Gujarat University teaches physics. I hope this entire table is clear. This table will help you out in answering all your questions, all five questions, right? On the basis of the above table, all the questions can be solved very easily. So, our first question says, who teaches zoology? So, the answer is Dr. Davar. You can say in this table as well. So, this is the first answer, right? Dr. Jia from Gujarat University. So, the question is asked, which of the following teacher is from Gujarat University? So, Dr. Jia and Dr. Natarajan. But as per the options given, Dr. Jia will be there. So, Dr. Jia is from Gujarat University. I hope the second question is also clear. Who teaches from Gujarat University? That is Dr. Jia. Now, Dr. Natarajan teaches botany. So, our question is, who teaches botany? So, the answer will be Dr. Natarajan. And we are able to figure out all these answers with the help of the table that we made, right? As soon as you are able to form this table with the help of the instructions given, you are able to figure out all the answers, right? Now, in question number 4, Dr. Davar is from Osmania University. So, the question is, who is from the Osmania University? So, we have in options, we have 4 options, 4 different professors, and option number B says Dr. Davar is from the Osmania University. I hope this question is also clear. Now, the last question is Dr. Natarajan from Gujarat University is the correct combination. So, right now we have all the combinations, right? Combination number 1, combination number 2, combination number 3, combination number 4, and the combination number 5. Now, you need to figure out which of the following combination is correctly matched in the option. So, that is option number D in question number 5, that Dr. Natarajan from Gujarat University, right? I hope this part is also clear. I hope all these questions, all 5 questions are clear, right? What is the major agenda or the concept behind all these questions is, first, read the instructions carefully, then start collaborating or start merging 2 to 3 different statements that is given or the instructions that are given, so that you are able to figure out the correct option or the correct chronological order, right? So, after merging all the instructions given, what we are able to figure out, we are able to figure out all the professors with respect to their subject as well as university. Then we'll mark it or form it in a form of table, so that it become easier for us to answer all these questions, right? This is a simple method you have to follow while answering such questions, right? In this chapter also, we're going to have some more questions of similar kind. So make sure to follow the same instructions as we are following in this question number 1 to 5, right? So now I'll move to next questions, that is question number 6 now. The question number 6 is here. So this question is a single question. A statement is given in the question. You have to read this statement carefully and follow it holistically and try to find the answer, right? So in this question, what we can see that Ramesh is taller than Vinay, who is not as tall as Karan. Sanjay is taller than Anupama but shorter than Vinay, right? Now you can see this question is related to height, right? So what we can do here, we need to figure out which statement is correct and which statement can be used to figure out the answer. So who is the tallest one? Now we need to find who is the tallest one. For that, first we will take Ramesh is taller than Vinay, right? For that, we need to know that total of how many members are there? 5 people. That is Ramesh, Vinay, Karan, Sanjay, Anupma, right? These 5 people are here. So here we know that Ramesh is taller than Vinay. So here R can be represented as Ramesh, which is taller than, who is taller than Vinay. So we can write Ramesh, that is represented by R, over K. Similarly, Karan is also taller than Vinay, right? Here we have. So in the third statement, that is Sanjay is taller than Anupama. That is this statement. Sanjay is taller than Anupama. Also shorter than Vinay. So this particular thing can be written here as well, right? You can see this order, right? And A can be written as below S. So what we can figure out that either R or K can be the tallest person among all 5. So here we are not sure which one of the following is the tallest person out of all. So our option number D will be the correct answer, because we cannot determine who is the tallest person, right? So you can also read the solution part. In this question, the ranking of Karan is not defined. Consequently, either Ram or Karan can occupy. The Ram is not the correct here. Here the word will be Ramesh. You can correct it here as well. That is Ramesh. It is a printing mistake here, right? So Ramesh or Karan occupy. Either one of them can occupy top position, as the statements are not sufficient to find out who is the tallest between both of them. Hence option D, that is, cannot be determined with the help of the statements given. So our option D will be the correct answer for this particular question. I hope this part is clear, right? Now we'll move to next set of questions. For that we have some set of instructions, set of directions. We need to follow them as we do in the first 5 questions, right? Now I'll directly move to the next part. That is question number 7 to 11. So read the direction carefully. First, this direction will be applicable from question number 7 till question number 11, right? So the statement says that read the following information carefully and answer the question below, right? So there are 5 men, that are A, B, C, D, E, and 6 women, right? We have how many women? 6 women, right? That are P, Q, R, S, T and U. So how many? P, Q, R 3, S, T, U are again 3. So total of 6 women are there. A, B and R are advocates. So we can write it down. For advocate, we can write ADV here. A total of how many advocates are there? That is A, B and R, right? How many? A, B and R are specified as advocates, right? Now C, D, just a second. Yeah. Who? C, D, P, Q and S are doctors. For doctors, we'll represent it by D. So how many doctors are there? C, D, P, Q and S. Total 5, right? And the rest are teachers. We know that for advocates, we have A, B and R. For doctors, we have C, D, P, Q, S. Total 5 in number. They are total 3 in number. Now, how many are remaining? They are teachers. For teachers, we'll use T. So how many remaining are teacher? We know that total of 5 men are there, 6 women are there. So 5 plus 6, that is 11. 11 in number. 8 are already occupied. So remaining will be 3. So 3 will be teachers out of the remaining one, right? So we'll move to the next part of the statement, that some teams are to be selected from all these given set or the set of instructions of 11 persons, right, subject to the following conditions. Now, the condition number 1. First condition says that A, P, U have to be together. It means A, P, U are supposed to be in a team, right? The second statement, B cannot go with either D or R. So B, D or B, R is not possible, right? Now, E, Q have to be together. Again, E, Q have to be together always, right? C and T have to be together. Again, a statement, C or T, right? C or T have to be together, right? D, P cannot be together. D, P, this thing is not possible, right? C cannot go with Q. It means CQ is also not possible. So I have made the statements very clear for you all, right? You can read the instructions, you can read the statements and find out that APU have to be together. BD or BR are not supposed to be together. EQ, CT can be together separately, right? DP, right? DP cannot be together. C and Q cannot be together. Now these are the conditions that are given, right? Total 6 in number. Now you have to follow these conditions and find out the answer of question number 7 to question number 11, right? So first what we will do, we'll read the question and all the questions and then start finding the answers, right? So question number 7, right? Read the question carefully. If the team is to consist of 2 male, what is the requirement? 2 male advocates, right? We are already aware how many advocates we have. 2 lady doctors, and 1 teacher. So what we need? 2 male advocates, right? 2 lady doctors, 1 teacher. This is the requirement, right? This is the requirement. Now, as per the instructions given, we'll read it properly. Now, the male advocates can be A and B, right? A, we can pick out of all advocates, we can pick the male advocates, let's say A and B. Lady doctors are P, Q, R, S, right? These can be the doctors. How many doctors we need? 2 doctors, right? P, Q, R, S. Teachers are E and T and U. These are the teachers. Now, A and V will be selected, right? Let's say out of the advocates, 2 male are selected, that are A and B. So, we know the condition number 1, that A, P, U have to be together. Now, we have to select 1 lady doctor more because we have already selected 1. So, it can be either Q or it can be either S. But Q and E cannot be together as per the condition, since E is not selected. So S will be selected. Thus, the team become A, B, right? P, U and S. Advocates, doctors and teacher. So answer become A, B are the 2 male A, B, 2 male advocates, right? Along with P, U, 2 doctors, along with S, a teacher. This become your answer. I hope this statement is clear. This question is clear till now, right? Now, we'll move to the next question where some instructions are given, right? Here, a team is consist of 1 advocate. This time we have to select only 1 advocate and 2 doctors. Wherever you get numbers, now write it down. You need 1 doctor, 1 advocate and 2 doctors, 3 teachers. How many teachers? 3 teachers. And C may not go with T. A statement is also added now. Along with the rest 6 statement, now we have 1 more statement, that is C may not go with T. Now answer them. So what we need? 1 advocate plus 2 doctors plus 3 teachers, right? Now a team of 6 members will form. Now we'll follow the instructions given previously along with this instruction, right? Now the instruction says that the advocates are A, B, and R, right? The doctors are C, D, P, Q, R, S. The teachers are E, T, and U. These are the given professions, right? Now the team consists of 3 teachers. Let's say ETU, because we have 3 teachers, so we'll take all 3, right? Now APU have to be together, so E and Q have to be together. So we are directly getting our answer, right? We are already having E, so we'll bring Q also. We are already having U, we are able to bring A and P as well. So our answer become APU satisfying the first situation, E and Q satisfying the other situation, and T. So this become our answer. And this thing is there in which option? Option number P. I hope this question is also clear. The only thing that we are doing, we are reading all the instructions carefully. We are following them. We start marking them. Like in this question, we have marked advocates, we have marked doctors, and then we have marked teachers. Then we follow all the instructions given and we are eventually get to our answer. I hope this part is also clear. Now, question number 9. If the team is consist of 1 male advocate, now remember, a number will be marked by this 1 male advocate, right? First condition. Second, 1 male doctor. How many doctors? 1, that 2 male doctor, right? 1 lady doctor. Again, how many lady doctors? 1 lady doctor. Total of 2 doctors will be there and 2 teachers, right? So how many members we get? 1 male advocate plus 1 male doctor plus 1 lady doctor, right? Plus 2 teachers. Total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A team of 5. Right? Right? Now I will follow the instructions. Here, the male advocates are A and B. We know that. But we need only 1. The male doctors are C and D. We need only 1. Lady doctors are P, Q, R, S. We need only 1. The teachers are E, T, U. We need 2 teachers. Right? If we select PU, if we select A, mark it A here, right? If we select A as a male advocate, we'll eventually get P and U, right? Because APU should be together. DP cannot be together, so a male doctor can be C, right? Because we have only 2 male doctors, that is C and D, and if we are selecting initially P, so P and D cannot be together. We know that the situation, we know this condition as well. So eventually we'll get C as a male doctor. Now, what we get? C as a male doctor, right? C is your male doctor. We'll get a 1 part. Now remaining 4 have to be fine. C and T have to be together. So thus T will be selected. So till now what we have selected? We have selected A, advocate, P and U, and C, and the last T. We are able to find the team of 5. That is A, C, P, T, U. We know that A, P and U have to be together. And we know that P cannot go with D. So we selected C, and C and T have to be together. So we select T as well. So eventually we get our answer. That is option number A here. I hope this question is clear, right? This solution part is always written for you for your reference, right? Now we'll move to the next question. That is, okay, just wait for a second. So we have another condition as well for this particular question, although we have already selected our answer, but a condition is also there. You can always make this also. So male doctor is C will be chosen. We know that. C can go with T, have to be together. We have already chosen that as well. Now the second teacher selected should be either E or U. We know that APU go together. So but you cannot go with A. So we'll select E, and E and Q have to be together. Thus we have selected, can we select a team of B, C, E, Q, T? This is again, in the initially we know that A and B have to be together. Initially we form a team using A. Now this time we form a team using P, right? So both the possible answers can be there, but you have to check which option is given or which answer is given in the option, and you have to go with that, right? So why I choose this one first? Because this option is there, right? And to make a clear understanding for you. But again, you can always look for the alternatives, right? This is the alternative, but this thing is not there in the option. You can follow that as well. Okay. Now we'll move to the next question, that is question number 10, right? A question based on this similar pattern, right? So read the question carefully again. If a team is consist of, again, one advocate, three doctors, gender is not specified, and one male teacher. So here, so gender for the teacher is specified, rest advocate, one advocate and doctor can be chosen accordingly, right? Now we know that advocates, we know who all are advocates, who all are doctors, and the remaining are teachers. We know that. So we'll start reading the instructions on the solution part easily, right? So we know that. Now till now you are doing this question for the third time. Now you are very well aware how we are proceeding, right? So the advocates are ABR, we know that. We need only one. Out of all three, we need only one. The doctors are CDPQS. We need only, again, how many doctors we needed? Three. Out of all, we need only three doctors. Male teacher is E. Only male teacher is E. So this is selected. Right. Now we know the condition. E will selected. So E and Q have to be together. So eventually we have to select Q as well. Right. So Q is also selected. This is selected. E is selected. Right. Have to, C and Q cannot go together. Right. So C cannot be selected here. Right. C will not be selected. P also cannot be selected because U is not selected. Right. Till now we didn't have U. So P cannot be selected because we didn't have U as of now. So other two doctors, that is D and S. That is D and S will be selected. P is not selected. So A will not be selected. So eventually D is selected. And so B cannot be selected. Thus, the team has DEQRS. Out of advocates, we have selected R, one advocate. Three doctors are DQS and a male teacher is E. We'll get our answer, right? And this thing we'll find in our option number C. You have to check whether the team that you have formed is in option or not, right? As soon as it is there in option, you'll get the answer, right? So mark this, right? Okay, now we'll move to the next question. I hope this is the last question from these directions, right? So question number 11 says that if the team is to consist of two advocates, how many advocates this time? Two advocates and two doctors. The gender is not specified for both the professions. Two teachers and not more than three ladies in total. So we have to find two advocates, two doctors and two teachers, right? In total, in a team, not more than three ladies should be there, right? So you can have three ladies, two ladies, a lady and no ladies can be, right? Not more than three will be there, right? I hope this question is clear. What exactly we have to answer, what kind of team we have to form, right? For that, we'll move to the solution part and you can easily know that. Okay, here we are using a different method just to make you can also follow the same method that we used earlier. Read the instructions, start eliminating the professions or the person, those will not part of our answer. But here what you can do, read the options carefully and start eliminating them. So the first says that ACPRTU and AEPQRT are wrong because these combination consist of 4 ladies. So again, right? Which one? ACPRTU. Where it is ACPRTU. So this option is eliminated. AEPQRT, that is AEPQRT. This option is also eliminated because both these consist 4 ladies, which is not allowed. We are maximum allowed 3 ladies, right? Now, BCEQRT is correct because B and R can go together, right? Can go together. So, which one is BCQRT can be correct, right? So, our option, let me check whether this option is available or not. BCEQRT. BCEQRT. I think this option is not mentioned here. So, I'll mark it for you. So, our answer will be this. BCEQRT. That is BCEQRT. You can go with this answer, right? Here we have number of ladies at max 3 and our team is consist of 2 doctors, 2 advocates and 2 teachers. I hope this question is clear, right? In previous 4 questions, what we all are discussing, we are discussing about the different professions and their team formations. So this kind of question is very helpful for you when you are good with the instruction reading, right? The major learning from this part will be your instruction reading, follow them and start forming a team. You know that you have a total of 11 members for different profession. Now you have to make the perfect team. For that, these questions will be very helpful for you. And in the exam time, you have to follow this approach that we have discussed in previous 4 questions. In the last question, we are discussing about the elimination method, that how easily you can eliminate the options available, right? As we have eliminated option number B and option number C, and we'll directly jump to the answer, right? These are the method that you can follow for these kind of questions, right? Now we'll discuss question number 12 to 15 with some certain different directions and instructions. So I read the direction for you. Read the following paragraph carefully. In the paragraph, we are having some different set of instructions. So the first instruction is 4 women. 4 women. So a number is given, 4 women, that is A, B, C, D. Now remember, 4 women that are A, B, C, D, and 3 men, that is E, F, G. Right? It is easy to remember because it is given, right? Play a game named Bridge. Bridge is a kind of game, right? A game, 4 players. In a game, only 4 players can play, right? In a game, how many players can play? 4, right? Mark this number as well, right? Now, read the instruction. The group consists of 3 married couples. How many? 3 married couples and a widow, right? And a widow. First instruction. Okay? So 7 members in total. 3 married couples, 3 into 3 multiplied by 2 will give 6 and a widow will give 1. So total of 7 are there. Spouses are never partners in a game. So mark it as 1. This is the first condition that you have. Now, no more than 1 married couple ever play in the same game. Now, this is your second statement, right? This is your second statement. I'll mark it again. First statement, second statement. From the first part, we are having 7 members, right? Just for your ease, right? Now, we are total able to figure out these 3 things. A number 4 is here. Number 3 is here. A team of 4 can play, right? Now, this is this. The fourth point, we know a game in a day, 4 games were played, right? So, the team formed are A and E versus B and F. Similarly, second third, and the fourth one. These 4 games were played. I hope this question is clear, right? So the statements that is given, one first statement says that the number of people out of all, we have 3 married couples and a widow. Spouses are never partners in a game. They are never partners. Yeah, we need to remember that, right? No more than one married couple ever play in a game, right? In a same game, basically, right? Now, here we have played 4 games in a day, and the team formed are subsequently mentioned, right? So the first is A and E versus B and F, right? This is the first team that we know. Subsequently, we have all teams, that is 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? This is there. Now read the questions accordingly. So the first question says that who marries to E, right? Who E marries to, right? Second question says that who's if F married to, right? F married to whom? Basically, we need to find that. Whose is G marries to, right? We need to figure out this as well. And the 15th question says that who is the widow? Now we have 4 set of questions. I'll read it again for you. The first question says that who marries to E? 13th says that who marries to F? 14th says that who marries to G? And who is the widow out of all, right? Out of 4 options given, right? So we'll read the solution part and follow the instructions given, right? So from the 4th statement that in which 4 games were played, we know that F is either married to A or married to C, right? Any one of them can be the answers, right? If F marries to A, we'll take a situation, we know that here, right? If we take a situation where F marries to A, married to A, then G marries to B or to C. We have to take this situation, right? If we take G marries to B, right? Here we have taken F marries to A, here we are taking G marries to B. Then E married to D, right? If G marries to B, then eventually E married to D. And if G marries to C, this is a second situation, then E marries to either B or to D, right? Similarly, if F marries to C, if we change the first situation, then G marries to B and E marries to D. Now we are getting our answer. Hence, the married couples are A to F, G to B, E to D, or A to F, G to C, or E to B, or A to F, G to C, E to D, or F to C, G to B, E to D. Now you know I'm talking about the person. Those who are written together, they are married together, right? For these only, A and F, G and B, and E and D does not contradict any of the statement given above. So we know that A marries to F, G marries to B, right? And E marries to D. One is remaining here, that is C. So definitely she may be the widow, right? We can easily predict that as well, right? Now we'll read the answer part. We know that who marries to E, we know that E marries to D, right? E marries to D. This is the answer of our first question. As soon as we are able to form that, we are able to figure out which pair is going good, which pair is perfect. So we are able to find that as well, right? Question number 13 says that who marries to F? So we know that here F marries to A. So F will be married to A, right? Question number 14, G marries to B. And as per our predictions, C is widow, right? In this manner, we are able to answer all 4 questions from question number 12 to question number 15. Here what we did, we read the instructions, we start making possibilities. Here you can see that the first possibility can be either F can marry to A or to C. First we have chosen this part, A, then we have chosen this part as well, F to C. And with all the possible situations, we are able to figure out certain pairs. The first pair is this, the second pair is this, third pair is this, fourth pair is this, and the pair which did not contradict any one of them, any situation or any statement is this, right? So our answer will be this, right? So we have already get all the answers, this to this, and the rest are also there, right? This is how we are able to figure out all 15 questions. And in the last part, we have C as a widow, right? Which is our 15th question. I hope this question is clear till here. Now we'll move to the next question, that is question number 16. Here, what you have to do, you have to read the question because it is a language based question. A certain situation is given in this question. First, we will read it and try to figure out the answer, right? Later on, I'll provide the solution, written solution to you as well, right? So, read the question. A vagabond. A vagabond is a person who is free, right? Run out of cigarettes. He may be a smoker. He is run out of cigarette. He searched for the stabs, the remaining part of the cigarettes, right? And having learned that 7 stubs can make a new cigarette. I hope you get it. 7 stubs can make a new cigarette, good enough to be smoked, right? Just students focus on the numbers. 7 steps can form how many cigarettes? 1 cigarette, right? And start marking the numbers as I always said, right? 7 is there, a new cigarette, right? Good enough to smoke, right? He bathers 49 stabs. He is able to collect how many stabs? 49 stabs, right? If he has smoked 1 cigarette every 3/4, it means in 45 minutes he smoked 1 cigarette. How long will the supply last? So students, we know that 49 stabs, right, will make 7 cigarettes, right? So if we mark as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, right? So for the first one, he'll take 45 minutes. In between this and this, again in between this and this, it will take 45 minutes. Again in between this and this, it will take 45 minutes. In between this cigarette and this cigarette, it will take 45 minutes. Again 45 minutes, and similarly again a 45 minute, right? And he can last this one also till 45 minutes. But we know that total number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And as soon as 7 stabs are again collected, he'll form 1 more cigarette. I hope you understand this. As soon as he is able to finish all 7, he will form 1 more cigarette. So he'll sustain for next 45 minutes as well. Now count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So if we multiplied 45 by 8, what we are getting? We are getting 36. We are getting 360 minutes. And if we divide it by 60, what we are going to get? 6 hours. So the supply will last till 6 hours, which is our option number B. I hope this part is clear, right? The cigarettes that he is having, the stabs that he have collected is 7 in number. He'll form is 49 in number, which can be used to form 7 cigarettes. And as soon as he finished all 7 cigarettes, he is remaining with 7 more stabs, which will be help him to form 1 more cigarette. So total of 8 cigarette he'll form, and he'll able to last till 6 hours. I hope this question is clear. Those who are facing any problem with these kind of questions can review this video, can get back and learn this concept again. I have explained it very briefly with the help of this diagram, right? Follow this question, because these kind of questions will be there in your exams with some different context, right? So you can use that. Now we'll move to the next set of questions, right? So you can see the written solution. As I told you, I'll provide the written solution as well. So initially he has 7 cigarettes, so he'll sustain for 5.25 hours, and he'll use 7 more stabs to form 1 more cigarettes to able to sustain for 45 more minutes, which eventually make it 6 hours, which is our option number B. I hope this part is clear, right? Now the directions for question number 17 and 18 is this. Now read the following information and answer the question that follows, right? Now again, this question is similar to the first question that we did. We are supposed to read the instructions carefully, then we are supposed to read the questions carefully, and then we can form a table, and then with the help of that table we are able to answer all these questions. I hope the procedure is clear. I'll start with the solution now. We know that there are 70 clerks. Start marking it. 70 clerks working with Miss Jha Lal Khanna and co-founder chartered accountant and co-partnered with chartered accountant, right? Of which 30 are female. I hope this part is clear. So 30 clerks are married. First situation, right? 30 clerks are married. 24 clerks are above 25 years of age. Second condition given, right? Now 19 married clerks are above 25 years of age. How many? 19 married clerks are above 25 years of age. Among them, 7 are male. Third statement. Students, you have to read these instructions very carefully, because these instructions will only help you to get to your answer, right? Now 12 male are above 25. This is your fourth statement. Now 15 males are married. This is your fourth statement. I hope you get this, right? This is your fourth statement. Now after reading all 4 statements or 5 statements, sorry, this is your fifth one, right? I have repeated the 4 again. So total of 5 statements are there. So as soon as you read all 5 statements, you are supposed to arrange them. You are supposed to find them. How many are above 25? How many are married? How many are males? How many are females? How many are unmarried? These kind of possibilities are formed, right? So we'll form this in the form of table. First we'll read the questions, right? So how many unmarried girls are there? What they are asking? Unmarried girls, right? Second question, how many of these unmarried girls are above 25? So both the questions are related to the unmarried girls. First we need to tell the total number of unmarried girls. Second, we need to tell the total number of unmarried girls above the age of 25, right? Now from the data given, now we start with the solution part. So from the given data, we can make the following table with the help of the following rest or the concrete data that is given, right? So the table says, so the columns are either male or female. We know that 40 males are there because 30 females are already specified in the first statement only. So out of 70, 30 are female, so the remaining will be male, that is 40. I hope this is clear. Above 25, how many are above 25? That we will discuss. How many are married? This is the first point. Second point, how many are married? Third is how many are unmarried? How many are below 25? How many are married? How many are unmarried? How many are total number? So this is the first situation. Above 25, married and unmarried. Below 25, married and unmarried, and the total. Above 25, 7 males are married and 12 females are married that are above 25. Understood? Unmarried, 5 males are unmarried, those who are above 25, and 0 female. Similarly, below 25, married males are 8, females are 3. Unmarried are 20 and 15, and total gives us 40 and 30. So we know that the first question was how many unmarried girls are there. So we can go to the unmarried part and we can figure out this is 15, right? So 15 will be the answer of this question, that is option number B. I hope this part is clear. How many of these unmarried girls are above 25? Above 25, how many married girls are there? 12, right? So we can read this as well. How many unmarried girls are above 25? That is 12. So A will be our answer. So you can see that as soon as you are able to form the table, you are able to find out the answers very easily. You can also check answers from here, right? 15 unmarried girls and 15 unmarried girls are there. Those are above 25. I think I have mistaken marked the wrong part. So this not be the answer. 15 will be the answer because they are talking about unmarried above 25. Right? Right? I hope this part is clear to you all. Right? Now, question number 50, question number 17 and 18 is clear to you. So till now we have discussed almost each and everything. We have discussed multiple statements, multiple questions based on different instructions, right? The major thing that we are learning here is first to read the question properly, right? Few things you need to remember. First is read question properly, right? Second, read instructions carefully, right? Third, merge the given data, right? Right? The fourth is form a table, right? And then answer all the questions, right? This is the process that you have to follow downward, right? Or use elimination method. Okay, this is just to make your or just to reduce your timing or to make your process or the test or your performance more efficient, right? So I think I have cleared each and everything. This is all from my end for this particular chapter. Rest will do few more questions. You can do few more questions with the help of practice set that is available on the website. Thank you friends, have a nice day. Bye bye.